Welcome to this brief introduction to project management. Let's begin with the fundamentals. A project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. It is very important to differentiate projects from operations. Projects are temporary in nature. They have a deadline, a budget, and produce a unique product, whereas operations are the continuing functions of a business, such as manufacturing the same product repeatedly. So what is project management? Project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. It is important to note that project management techniques complement product knowledge. These two factors are critical to project success. The project manager must understand the product being created and apply the frameworks and techniques of project management to the production process. The Project Management Institute offers a standard guide to the project management profession called the Project Management Body of Knowledge, which is often called the PMBOK Guide. PMI offers internationally recognized certifications in project management, the most prominent being the Project Management Professional, or PMP. In order to achieve the PMP designation, project managers must complete formal training and thousands of hours of experience, thereby ensuring their competence. Having covered the fundamentals, let's start to unpack project management. The PMBOK Guide outlines 5 major processes in project management: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and finally closing. Initiating is defining a project and obtaining authorization to start. In this initial phase, the project is defined by eliciting business requirements, developing a business case, conducting feasibility studies, and determining business needs. In this stage, documents such as formal business case, a project charter or mandate, a project statement of work, and a stakeholder management study are created. Of course, other documents could be required depending on the project. These tasks are of utmost importance to successful project management and should be completed before any work is done towards creating the end product. The next process is planning. In the planning process, project scope is established, project objectives are refined, and the course of action is defined. It is in the planning process that project management offers the most value to a business. The list of documents created in this process is very long and varies by project, but the aim is to examine every conceivable aspect of the project, identify challenges, and present multiple solutions. Each individual document can vary in length from several pages to hundreds of pages. This is all in an effort to make the project run smoother to completion, on time, and on budget. One of the most important documents created in the planning process is the Work Breakdown Structure, or WBS for short. This document outlines all of the tasks that must be completed in order for the project to be successful. We will encounter the Work Breakdown Schedule structure again in a few moments. Executing is the third process in project management. After extensively planning the project, work commences implementing the plans to create the project. As the project was planned thoroughly, this process should move smoothly. If it does not, then it is clear not enough time was dedicated to the planning process. The fourth process outlined by the PMBOK Guide is monitoring and controlling. While this process is identified as separate, it actually occurs concurrently with the rest of the project, particularly execution. Monitoring and controlling activities include tracking project progress and performance, identifying unanticipated challenges, implementing and documenting solutions. A couple of example documents that could be created in this process could be a weekly or monthly or quarterly, depending on the project length, status report, and root cause analysis. That is, examining the real causes of a challenge encountered. The fifth and final process of project management is closing. In closing, all activities are finalized, the results and the process are evaluated. The project is formally accepted by the stakeholders, and there is a post-project review. A really important part of this process is the creation of a lessons learned document, where the project management team collaborates and reviews the project, drawing out important lessons that can be applied to the next project. Having unpacked some of the key concepts in project management, let's now have a look at some project management methodologies. The two that will be highlighted are traditional and agile. Traditional project management, sometimes known by terms such as waterfall, critical path, or critical chain methods, breaks a project down into separate steps, each of which must be completed before the next can begin. The PMBOK guide focuses on traditional project management. Traditional projects have a predictable timeline and budget, and after the project charter is created, there is little room for customer feedback. Traditional project management is widely used in many industries, particularly where physical products are created. Used much more widely in the creation of digital projects, the Agile project management methodology uses an iterative approach, where business requirements are determined, a minimum viable product is created, and then customer feedback is requested. After customer feedback is obtained, another iteration of the product is created, meeting further customer requests. The Agile methodology has many variants, including Core Agile, Scrum, Kanban, Extreme Programming, and the Adaptive Project Framework. There are many other project management methodologies, more than can be covered in this introductory video. Two really important methodologies worth highlighting include Six Sigma, which is process-based, and Prince2, which is used by the government of the United Kingdom. It's unrealistic to be an expert in all project management methodologies, and project managers often specialize in one or two that their industry utilizes. The tools of the trade for project managers include very specialized software which helps them track the progress of their projects and all the documents it creates. MavenLink, Basecamp, and Asana are enterprise-grade software packages, while Microsoft Project is a viable option for smaller projects. All of these will create similar documents, the most important of which is a Gantt chart. A Gantt chart is often used during traditional project management, where the work breakdown structure is divided into specific tasks, and each task is allocated an expected time frame. As is shown in the image, the pink lines represent the critical path of a project. Each critical path task must be completed before the next critical path task can begin. If any critical path task is delayed, the entire project is delayed. Conversely, the blue tasks are not in the critical path and are said to have slack, that is, time where the task can be delayed without delaying the overall project. Project managers make it a huge priority that tasks within the critical path are not delayed. As a more concrete example, let's have a look at an Agile project management case study, where a network information database is created. Initially, business needs must be identified, and the project scope needs to be defined with input from stakeholders. In this case, a database needs to be created that documents a physical computer network, that is, where wiring closets are located, and where the network cabling from each wiring closet terminates. At a minimum, a business case document would be created, as well as a project mandate or statement of work. Using the Agile methodology, the project is created in iterations. Iteration 1 would create a minimum viable product. An example solution could be creating a MySQL database housing all the information requested. Tables and fields would be created and populated with information about the physical network. A PHP MyAdmin front end could be loaded onto the MySQL database, allowing the customer to run the SQL queries on the data. This solution would be absolute bare bones, but would present the customer with a minimum viable product. After the first iteration of this product is created, customer feedback would be required. Moving on to iteration 2, the product from iteration 1 is expanded to make it more user-friendly and useful to the customer. A PHP front end would allow the end users to interact with the database using pre-built queries. The project team would be divided into groups to produce deliverables such as a web design look and feel, PHP-based logic, basic data definition queries such as create, update, delete, and basic data manipulation queries, select statements. After the web front end is created, customer feedback would once again be required. Iteration 3 could expand on the results of Iteration 2, creating mobile apps and formal reports from the database. At this point, extra features are being added to a solid foundation. For example, additional features could include PDF reports that can be shared with colleagues, mobile apps that would allow system administrators to address the database remotely, and so on. The team would again be split into groups that are assigned various tasks to complete the upgrades. Once again, after these are created, customer feedback would be required. In this case study, the customer accepts the product after 3 iterations. All the business needs outlined at project initiation have been met. However, in reality, there can be many more iterations before project acceptance. The number of iterations often depends on the factors of time and budget. Once the project is accepted, from a project management perspective, it is crucial to conduct a lessons learned session to avoid future problems in future projects, allowing the firm to improve and run smoother with each project completed. Project management adds significant business value to an organization. It is a framework of techniques and strategies that are applied to the creation of a unique product. This video has offered only the briefest of introductions to project management. For more information, check out these resources. Thank you.